Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary.
The year is 3013. The galaxy is scintillating in the mellow light. Two galactic pilgrims seek out vistas in the samurai future to bring forth the unity of the cosmic shaman. Opening the door of the pantheon of mystics, the evil sorcerer wizard powers the engine of science, seeking to forever alter the sacred balance, traveling on effervescent balls of summer fire.
This week, Star Wars, Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
In the year 2019, we had a Star Wars month, and now it all ends with the end of the saga.
Saga.
Saga my balls.
Yes, yeah. It's a few days late. I think we've avoided most of the spoilers and stuff, so I'm going in pretty cold for Rise of Skywalker.
I've seen vague opinions on Twitter.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything about plot except for what the trailer told us.
And I've mostly avoided that even.
Except the time they just blasted it directly in your face.
Yeah, was that when we were watching Terminator?
Yeah. It came up with the Skywalker trailer.
But that was enough of a teasery, just here's some shots. There wasn't any plot.
Yeah, that's all I've gotten. So
yeah. I know there's a fight in the rain. That's like
Right.
And then maybe they ride a speeder.
So I guess I don't know how much vague Twitter should we get into. The big point is, are we untying the Last Jedi knot, or are we tying it tighter?
So shall I say what I've kind of heard?
I think that we've heard
sounds like it basically does everything that I feared it was going to do, and it's just a cowardly pussy film that's like, oh no, actually all that interesting stuff is wrong, and it's just Star Wars again.
How much did Return do that?
A Jedi?
Yeah. It kind of did some of that. Because Empire was like super dark, kind of an adult, and we like Return, but it went a little more kiddie, right? And it kind of rubbed people the wrong way that way.
My issue was, it didn't undo any of the twists or the plot. Yeah, it was just the trilogy thing. This is the dark one, and then it rises again.
Yeah, it wasn't
That's standard, right?
Vader was like lying to him in the second one, and Obi-Wan's the liar.
I wasn't expecting to go into like The Rise of Skywalker, and it's like, no, the whole trilogy ends on a downer. Like, I know that it's going to rise. It's going to have a happy ending.
But how we get there, we'll see. So.
Well, it's more The Last Jedi did a lot of things which was, like, rejecting some of the tenets of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
It did a lot of, actually, anyone can be a hero shit, which was better than no, you basically have to be a Skywalker.
So I guess if they do rise the rebellion and then just tweak some of the Jedi stuff again, I don't. Again, we're just pontificating because we got an hour and a half before we're going to walk into the theater and see this thing.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be a little disappointed.
We're standing at the spot in Japan in Wada Castle, which was the end of the samurai rebellion sort of cycle, you know.
Yeah, this was basically the end of civil wars in Japan, right?
Yeah,
That's where the guy got snuck in and took this castle.
Yeah, there's
right?
a way they came up. The castle is considered impregnable, and they came up here. I hope that ties into Skywalker. I mean, we got the Jedi right thing going. So here we are in the Jedi castle.
Was that after the fall of Osaka Castle?
Yeah, this was the last one to fall to Tokugawa.
Nice.
Up in the mountains, right? Kind of hard to get to, and that you got to scale that wall.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I tried to scale the wall when I was in my mid-20s.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to do it when it's this wet.
No, bad call, and not in the middle of the day. But,
you got to do it when there's no one there to come and arrest you.
Anyway, we like to record in weird locations, so I thought I'd just talk for a second about this one, because we really don't know much about this two Star Wars film yet.
No. So what would be your ideal?
Okay, my ideal is that, I think we already talked in the last episode, that Kylo and Rey have to balance each other and team up. We already know Palpatine's there, so maybe Snoke was just like a real quick takeout, so they have to do a little more of an epic Star Wars thing to take out Palpatine.
Right, but that was like...
Return?
I would rather they just didn't. It could just be the battle is between Kylo and the Rebellion, and then they end it not by having a big battle, but by...
shaking hands, like in Metropolis.
They find a new path, yeah.
No, I guess
Right, because if they end it with another oh, there's a big battle and the baddies lose. They've done that before, so that doesn't end the saga. There's still room for episode 10.
Yeah.
The second order.
Yeah. I'm seeing for a, redemption for Kylo because that's what they did with Vader. Yeah?
Right. Yeah, but I don't want it to be the same redemption.
No,
it can't
definitely.
be he comes over to the light side. I want it to be...
Necessary
so
evils, maybe?
They meet each other in the middle. And, they end the cycle of light and dark.
Right. I think that's what I'm talking. I don't want him to suddenly become like a white suit, Jedi.
Then they team up and fight Palpatine.
I want him to do the thing that he has to do from the position that he's in, and maybe that's what he did in Last Jedi.
That's what they hinted at, right?
Right. They take out Snoke together, but then when it's back to brass tacks, Kylo's where Kylo is.
Right, but there is room for actually no, they are going to team up for the third one.
Okay,
but that's my hope. I don't think that's what we'll get.
What are your Billy D expectations?
He's going to turn up. He's going to be really cool.
And then he, for 5 minutes?
He just flies the Falcon in the final battle like he did in Jedi.
Yeah, probably.
He's just there to sit next to Chewie because Han's not there.
Yeah, I guess so.
And, Rey needs to be doing something more interesting.
Okay. No, I just thought that's the big plug-in here that wasn't in the previous one. Because he showed up in Empire.
I wonder if we've got more... I'm getting loads of messages. I'm going to turn that off.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get more... We're only getting more of him because we can't have any Leia in this one.
She's in it a little, I think. They use some stock
I think
footage.
it's all old footage, right?
It is old. Of course it's old footage.
But, right, no, but I mean, they could have... I think they had started filming some of this film.
Oh, okay.
Just
because she was already there, maybe.
But I think it is just going to be stuff they filmed for Jedi, didn't you? But could have just not had her in it.
Yeah, I always expected Lando to show up eventually. I thought he was going to show up in the last one, so here he is. Okay, off to the movies then?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, no, that's our hopes. What do we actually expect?
Oh, I guess so epic space battle. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what you... But maybe, is it epic space battle with purpose or an epic space battle with little purpose? I guess that's the balancing.
Well,
here.
I mean, we've got Palpatine, which I didn't want, but apparently that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
So I guess
we know that going in. That's the only thing we know going in.
He was behind everything, not Snoke. Yeah. And now Kylo is somehow working for him, which is pretty lame. And then we basically just get Return of the Jedi again. That's my theory.
Okay, there we go. My impression coming in is that Kylo is not working for Palpatine at all.
Okay. So maybe the First Order is splintered and you've got Kylo's wing and his wing.
Yeah, because we talked in the last one, Kylo was never quite a Sith, right?
Yeah.
He was just, he walks and talks like one, but no one ever said he was a Sith.
No. Well, yeah, I guess it'd be pretty cool if we have kind of a three-way conflict.
That's my expectation.
Because that would be something new.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
Yeah. Okay, off to the movies. We'll see what's right, and if the new title is going to be Star Wars. God damn it, JJ.
I worried it is. Does JJ stand for Jar Jar? I think I stole that from Twitter, but I like it.
Yeah. Star Wars, those wonderful Star Wars, and if they should bar wars, please let these stay.
So, we just got back from watching Return of the Jedi.
That's right. I think I've seen it an opening weekend twice now.
Yeah, I guess so. I've seen every Star Wars film that I've been alive for in opening weekend.
Yeah. Can we criticize the film for doing that since Force Awakens just did A New Hope?
Yeah, because I always going to criticize that.
I would say I think that was okay. So
How much are we getting into it?
I thought we'd try and be a bit spoiler-free for a bit in case there's some weirdo that wants to hear half of Rise of Skywalker episodes before we're actually going to see it.
Yeah, we're going to be kind of vague, but honestly, who's listening to this and hasn't seen the film and cares? I was saying to Matt just now, with Terminator, there maybe were people who were umming and ahhing about it and we might have convinced them. you already know if you're seeing Star Wars or not.
Yeah,
So
I have a podcast on my phone for Rise of Skywalker, which I haven't listened to yet because I hadn't watched it yet.
Right.
And we hadn't recorded. You don't want to listen to someone else's.
yeah.
But,
Obviously.
I want to hear some other people's take. So, did you come out feeling satisfied with your Star Wars geek?
So here's how I came out feeling. I did enjoy the film. It wasn't a terrible film. My worst fears were not realised. But
Can you
I
tell
came
me-
out of it like, I don't care.
On the way to, do we say in the last segment or do we just talk about, like, Last Jedi basically gave you the ending.
Yeah,
That actually is fine as the ending.
it was maybe a better ending.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think this film just makes this entire trilogy redundant. We're at the exact same ending we were at the end of Return of the Jedi.
more or less.
So what has this film said or done? What has this trilogy said?
We
Whereas
saw-
The Last Jedi, the end of The Last Jedi came out like, oh, this is an answer to the question that Star Wars raises. This is saying something. And The Last Jedi made it feel like, oh, actually making Star Wars sequels was necessary and relevant because there was more to be added to that conversation.
At the same time, you were talking about in Last Jedi, the passing the book and writing the next chapter of the story. Like, this film basically makes The Last Jedi almost like pointless in the arc of at least JJ's story.
JJ didn't have anything to say.
Yeah.
Like, Our Force Awakens and this one are both just the old ones again.
Let me shout out a name before I forget it. Colin Trevorrow. That's who was going to direct this originally.
Oh, okay, we couldn't remember his name last time.
Right. I noticed he was in the story credit, although that could be contractual reasons. I don't know
probably.
if he had a different plan or what.
Maybe he had like a scene that
Yeah.
they kept.
Right.
Well, so what did Colin? I recognize his name. What else did he do?
Sorry, man. I thought having his name was going to be like...
Right, but now I'm like, oh, actually, no, I do know this guy.
He's got one
You said that he had like one
corker.
big film and it kind of flopped, right?
No.
And that's why he got taken off the project.
No, he had a film that was actually like successful. And man, watching you try and get your phone out of the pocket right now is so painful. Anyway,
We're sat outside the temple again, folks.
yeah, he made the Book of Eli.
That's
I
right.
haven't seen it. I don't know if it's good, it's bad, I don't know. But it flopped hard enough that they did not give him this one, and they brought back JJ.
Oh, okay, I know why. I know his names.
Yeah.
The Jurassic Worlds.
Oh,
So no,
yeah.
he would have done this. He would have done this film.
He would have done this.
He
film
would have done.
still.
Oh, it's the old one again.
So this is always what we were going to get, in a way, probably.
But was there not briefly a time where it was going to be Johnson for 2? Or was that never on the table?
I think he was always given like past the close of the trilogy. He was never. I don't think he was offered this one at any point.
So they brought this guy in, gave him free reign to do something interesting with the story.
And he absolutely
But from the
did that.
start, they were like, yeah, but we're going to ignore it and just do the fucking boring shit we were always going to.
Well, is that what they were doing with the original trilogy anyway? They give it. Irvin Kershner had some credits.
Right, but
he was a real director at least.
so we were talking about this before. So the problem with you were saying like, oh, but the Return, I forgot the name, Empire Strikes Back. Oh, but that took Star Wars in a new place, and then Jedi went back on it. But it only took Star Wars in a new place along a certain arc. It ended in a dark place, and the next one was going to go back to the happy place. But it introduced that, oh, Darth isn't just a supervillain. There's hope for him. And then Jedi followed up on that.
So
Rian Johnson actually said a quote about that recently. He said the reason that is so good is because that's the most difficult thing for Luke and the audience to hear in that moment. Because if Darth is just a bad guy, it's simple. Luke will kill him in the next film. But that made it complicated. And then if Rey is someone important in the Star Wars family, then that's simple. We know how to deal with that. Star Wars has done that before. If she's nobody, it makes us question the message of these films.
yeah.
So his point was that you should give a difficult answer to these questions. And then the Rise of Skywalker tries to go back to giving us easy answers to these questions.
Right. Well, Kylo Ren. Okay. Darth Vader was straight up the bad guy when you saw when you saw Star Wars in 1977. He was straight up the bad guy, and Empire wrinkled that. Force Awakens. There was always, I mean, even from then, it's like, is Kylo Ren
Right,
gonna
but
not quite be evil? If you watch Star Wars in order, you see. You see Episode 1 Anakin. And then you see some more Anakin, you see him turn to Darth Vader. So if you're watching or you get to A New Hope and you're like, oh, I hope he'll turn around.
But even ignoring the prequels, just going on the original trilogy, because they did that with Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, even if they tried to present him as just a villain in the first one, that would be in the back of our minds.
And
So
it was.
I think they were
spelled
smart.
it out.
They were smart to make that central to his character.
Yeah. And it did make him an interesting character. Like we said,
He's the protagonist of this film.
yeah, more or less. Yeah, okay. Because, the first one, he's angry. He wants to be Darth Vader, and he can't. So, and then in Last Jedi, he comes into his own, basically. So is he coming out of his own now because of lazy writing?
Yeah, kinda. In this one, he just gets the generic Star Wars redemption arc, right?
Yeah.
But actually, in a way, he didn't do like a big return to the light side or whatever. He just came around for Rey.
Yeah.
Like, I know there...
But that's what you do. You come around for people.
We're just spoiling,
get
by the
together.
way. We've given up on that.
We're lightly spoiling now. Okay.
But-
Okay. I guess if it's 5 days or so since it's come out, or 3 or 4, I don't know. I live in Japan.
Also, if
and
you
days
haven't
are
seen it
messed
yet,
up.
you know what happens in this film.
Yeah, I guess that's the main point. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a few things. We could spoil some details, which I guess we're not doing yet, but the basic, I think you've heard it just by, like, getting a side glance at your Twitter or Facebook themes.
Yeah, or no, but just by seeing the trailer, you've pretty much figured out this film, I
The
think.
trailer pretty much tells you this film, yeah. Okay.
Even though it doesn't show much, it tells you enough.
Yeah,
By just... it gives you what this film is about, and then you're like, okay, I know how this goes.
yeah. Like you see her in the desert about to take on Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter, which they make clear in the trailer it's his TIE Fighter, don't they? They don't even say, like, this is someone else's TIE Fighter. No, they show shots of Ren in there.
Do they?
I think they
I
do.
just remember seeing the TIE Fighter.
No, I knew Ren was in it before I saw the movie. So
I think you've seen slightly more trailers than I have.
maybe I have, but yeah, I mean, they told you that, so it's kind of cool to see exactly why and how and it's happening here. But yeah, I mean, it's not a spoiler to tell you Palpatine's here because they told you that straight out.
Also, it's the opening crawl, so...
Exactly, they're searching for him. What if they didn't put it in the trailers? They did not put it in the opening crawl, and then it was a legitimate, like, surprise in the film that Palpatine's in the film. Would that work?
I'd have hated it more.
Okay, so they
Because
needed,
I could brace myself that they were going to do something that shit.
so if they didn't tell you, everyone would just like crap themselves in a theater, like not in a good way, but my bowels let loose.
I'd be like, seriously? Yeah. Like, I needed to temper my expectations before watching this film.
So we already knew that going in, and we
As it was, they did it. Fuck. Can we just stop the not spoily shit? Have you got anything else to say?
Let's hear a tune.
Yeah. I can't think I can talk about this film without just going into deets.
Falling apart at any moment. Just doing my Keith Moon impression. Could dial 322 for a skunk and bones. To live through interesting times again. Visions of Gaza flourishing in green. Faces of kings and mountains I'd seen.
Palpatine. Palpatine's Papa, Grandpapa Palpatine.
Be careful of your friend Palpatine. And your pal, Friend Patine.
I think I said Palpatine.
You did. Papa Palpatine, galaxy's greatest love machine.
So wait, so who's the missing Daddy Palpatine, not Granddaddy Palpatine, who's the star villain in the movie, but Daddy Palpatine, who's he?
Just Rey's parents. Who the fuck did Palpatine manage to bang that he had a son?
Well, he was a senator at one point that looked relatively normal.
Yeah, but for the timelines to work out, he had that kid pretty late in his creepy wrinkled ballsack phase.
People do that, especially when they're senators.
I guess. He paid for it, didn't he?
And timeline didn't bother me too much. So okay, I want to think. I want to think.
No,
about...
I want to think a little bit more about Palpatine banging.
Okay, let's think about Palpatine bang. Come on, Ian McDermott.
Do it.
It would be like
Good.
It would be like
Good.
good.
Strike me down.
Oh, the other one that
You
got
want
me
to reach for your weapon, don't you?
when Rey's looking for the Force, and she's like, "Come to me, come to me."
Be with me, she's saying.
Be with me. Did you not start thinking of Grandpa Itchy's video again?
No, but I did wonder if she was talking to Kylo.
I don't know who she was talking to, but when I started hearing "Be with me," I started seeing like the disco lights come back in. It's not quite a complaint. It just popped in my head because most people watching this probably did not just watch the holiday special twice.
You might be alone in that one, bro.
You watched the entire run-up to this film.
Yes.
I watched the holiday special, The Phantom Menace, and The Last Jedi, which I've decided this film actually makes me now say The Last Jedi is definitely the best Star Wars film.
It's far and away the best one of this trilogy.
Yeah, and now with this one, which let me paint out, I don't hate this film. I actually I like, it's disappointing in many ways, but I like this film. But now I'm like, okay, Last Jedi is the best Star Wars film.
I came out of this film, and like with most Star Wars films, the music stuck in my head. I wish I was holding a lightsaber. I kind of felt excited, but I don't think I'll feel any urge to see it again.
It truly is the Return of the Jedi of this trilogy. But people a lot of people like retro hate on Return, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like I'm in the same place with this, where I like get that, but
But I like Return. Possibly most of the original trilogy.
That's my point. I really like watching Return, so
Yeah.
I think in the future I'm really going to like watching this movie, especially now that it's out there and we know where everything's going.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the big problem. When you watch the other two, I don't think it will feel like it was going here.
It wasn't going here, but I guess the thing, Return wasn't quite going here, except for the
Darth
Vader
stuff?
Yeah, the Darth stuff that was a surprise at the
Well,
time.
and it was always supposed to end with a Death Star blowing up.
Yeah.
So for the most part, it was going somewhere pretty obvious.
This one's ahead because the Death Star is already blown up and in the ground. They don't do it. They don't have another
just have a
Star Killer
fleet of
base.
them.
Hey, I'm gonna throw some light into this film. They didn't bring back Star Killer base or a Death Star. They just brought back a shit ton of Star Destroyers.
Yeah, but the Star Destroyers all had Death Star guns.
Yeah.
They basically did bring back Death Stars again.
Yeah, but at least it feels different.
It felt a bit different, yeah.
And you got that hella battle of it all. Here's one thing very
I'll
different.
talk about the battles in a bit.
Yeah. One thing very different between Return and this, when I really started to like Return, now I've always liked Return of the Jedi. I saw, that's like the first Star Wars I saw in the movie theater when I was like 4 years old, and because I had Ewok teddy bears, I've said. So the thing, recently, maybe a few years ago, I heard the theory and went back and watched Return again, and do you know why I loved it so much?
Go on.
The idea that Luke had already turned to the dark side before the beginning of Return, but he still likes his friends.
Huh.
Like he basically, more or less, I mean, he basically just turns himself over to Dad, right?
Yeah.
You know, once
He
the Emperor...
turns up and like chokes those pigs like he total dark side guy.
Right. Yeah, when he's coming into Jabba's palace, he's pretty hardcore. I mean, he comes in there like a Sith, not like a Jedi.
He definitely does. He's dressed in black.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's in Sith colors. He's got a green lightsaber. What does that mean? I don't know.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, because up to then we'd only seen blue and red.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much over to the dark, and Darth saves him.
So I'm just throwing that as one big thing about Return. Exactly, Darth is saving his son in a way. You get some of that with Kylo here, but it's a much broader brush they do it with because they've been doing it for 3 movies now.
Right. But yeah, so let's just talk about the big thing, Palpatine.
Grandpapa Palpatine. I like Ian McDermott.
I like him in...
He redid his thing here. He was just like, it was like, like a greatest hits. Like
yeah, he's only done
goldies.
the same shit for like 5 films.
So of course he's going to do it well.
But it is very cheesy and 80s and kids movie in a way that most of the acting in this trilogy hasn't been.
Yeah, he's got his prequel red shirt.
Yeah, I know.
That was kind of groovy. I don't know if it's groovy or not. Honestly, he just should look like the Emperor from Return, but whatever.
But the Emperor from Return just looks like a naked old man in a robe.
That's the Emperor. Well,
And
here he's
spindly as well. He's gotten too fat, I think.
Until he gets Rey's, force power. Rey apparently is a Reiki healer now.
He's like a blind zombie held up by machinery or something.
Are we cool that Rey's like the best of the Reiki healers now?
Yeah.
Okay, I am.
We'd never really seen the true power of the light side.
Yeah. You know what I liked? How they showed it, which was,
the
of
snake?
course, in the snake cave. They did it like Devil in the Dark from Star Trek. I thought that was cool. Like, here's the subterranean monster. It's going to screw up everything. And, Spock does his mind meld. Paid, right? Yeah. Rey kind of does that here, and that was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a nice science fiction trope that we don't see so much in Star Wars.
Yeah. And also, we're always told how, like, good and pure and nice the Jedi are.
I felt like that was your punctuation.
Sorry, I'm allergic to Palpatine. But all we ever see them do is kill people with swords. So it was good to see her be something else for most of this film.
Yeah, this is the first time I think we've seen like a functioning Jedi, because I don't count the prequel ones as functioning Jedis. They're too full of themselves.
Yeah, that was the Order was kind of corrupt at that point, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the point of that trilogy.
Like Rey is the Jedi. That's what a Jedi
The
is supposed
ideal
to
of what
be.
a Jedi is supposed to be, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
which is why Yoda said, burn the books.
Yeah.
She doesn't need the books to learn what a Jedi should be.
She just does it. So I do come out of this movie liking Rey quite a bit well.
I really loved Rey in this whole film.
Yeah.
Although, again, right, so back to what I was talking about, fucking Palpatine. The whole plot could have been done without making her a Palpatine. Because he says, he just sensed that you'll be powerful enough to be the next, Sith Lord. He could have sensed that without her being his granddaughter for some reason.
He could have been checking her midi-chlorians.
Well, he's just strong with the Force, and you sense other people who are strong with the Force. That's the plot of this whole saga, right?
You are my granddaughter.
Completely
He didn't say that.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was pretty unnecessary. Because, Kylo's not related to him.
Yeah.
He's related to Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but if they wanted to do this plot where she was meant to be groomed for the Emperor or whatever, they could have done that without shitting all over the
Yeah, it's like she's
my
just...
favorite message of the previous film, which was that doesn't matter who your parents are, anyone can be.
Because when this movie starts, she is the only other major bearer of Force skills.
Yeah.
It's Kylo and her. That's it in the universe at this point.
Yeah, and they're both she's just
Leia
training
still has it
to
at this
match
point,
him.
yeah. But yeah, she decides to do her Luke thing.
Yep.
Have you read Autobiography of a Yogi?
No.
Okay, you should read it, by the way. And I'm going to actually fire a few bullets in my head for not having... I can't remember anyone's name today. I couldn't remember Christopher Walken's name. I couldn't remember Steve Carell's name. And now I'm forgetting... no, I'm not even going to try. Autobiography of Yogi, do that, you'll find it. Anyway, he's a yogi, right? Mm-hmm. He came to America, he opened an institute. And apparently, he left this life by doing a death meditation on a stage. And his body, they say, did not decompose for a few weeks. There's a force bearer in real life. How much of that is bullshit? I don't know. It's definitely a good story.
Yep.
Did
he write this in his own autobiography?
He didn't write the part where he died, but
right,
he wrote the rest of it.
Okay.
Anyway, to me, I wonder if that was the inspiration for how Yoda and Luke and Leia all become Force ghosts.
Yeah. But okay, so actually, I hate that I have to say this. There's something I did like about the Palpatine plot. It explains the Sith. So all the way through, it's like, when a Sith trains an apprentice, they know that apprentice will eventually kill them. Right, so why do they bother? But this explained, the idea is, each time an apprentice kills their master, all the previous Sith live through them.
You know who else did that?
And that's why there can only be two. Master and the Apprentice.
We did Dark Phoenix and read through the
Yeah.
X-Men, the New Mutants. That's how Warlock works.
Oh, okay.
Warlock. Magnus is his father. He's going across the universe trying to kill Warlock, and if Warlock kills him, he becomes the new Magnus. I think they've had 87 iterations of that going on
Right.
since I quit reading comics. So.
But in this version, it's deliberate.
Oh, it's very deliberate here, yeah.
But
Who were all the people in the Sith Temple, by the way? Or the things in the Sith
I don't
Temple?
know if they were there. I don't think they were physically there.
Oh, they were like the spirits of the past Sith?
I think so.
Okay, that's cool.
That's how I read it.
Because you know what I thought in this movie? I think they took Palpatine and just turned him into Voldemort, because half the time I thought I was watching a Harry Potter movie.
He was pretty Harry Potter. Yeah.
Like that whole scene, it felt like the, in Half-Blood Prince Cavern, that felt like Palpatine's pad, more or less.
It felt like a good explanation of Snoke, though, they made.
Well, Snoke
If
is
he needed...
Patsy.
Yeah, which we always knew, right?
Yeah.
But...
I do like that, because in Force Awakens, he seems very, intimidating, and Last Jedi says, he's kind of a patsy, and this one says, yes, he is a patsy.
Right.
They had 80, they had 47 Snokes brewing and decanters. That was funny.
But it didn't need to be a patsy for fucking Palpatine. But whatever. Okay.
How about a Snoke army, like a clone army? Maybe we have a Snoke army. That'd be fun.
Cool.
Would that make
Snoker?
Snoke cool?
No, nothing can make Snoke cool.
Sorry, you had a thought?
I'm just trying to will myself to just accept that Palpatine is what they went with, and appreciate the film for what it is. but it's very difficult.
I don't know, it's bugging you more than me.
Okay. What was this film about?
The Return of the Jedi.
Right, exactly. What is this film about?
Yeah, it's the same plot as Return of the Jedi.
But like, what was The Last Jedi about?
Bringing balance to the Force.
And it was
Am I
about
right?
letting go of the past. And
Yeah.
it was about...
The Last Jedi. Oh, sorry. But Last Jedi was letting go of the past. Sorry, I started thinking about Return of the Jedi.
Right.
These movies all have Jedi in the title, man.
Yeah, but what The Last Jedi is about stuff.
Yeah,
Has themes.
yeah.
What's this movie about?
Doing Return of the Jedi again, where we could have let go of the past and done a completely new story.
Yeah, it's
which-
about some cool scenes that will look cool.
We knew J.J. Abrams was going to do that, and we knew he wasn't going to tell us a new story. I mean, we knew that going in. We had that weird thought in the back of our mind, mostly erased by Twitter or Facebook, right? But
Yeah.
that maybe he did something new. But
Okay, but like, that doesn't excuse it.
okay, here we go.
We're here to critique this film. I think that is a bad thing about this film.
Okay, let's compare this. Let's compare the Star Wars with the Beatles. So Last Jedi would be John Lennon, right? A distinctive voice, you know, saying something. And the new movie's Paul McCartney, like pop master craftsman, doesn't have anything to say except for silly love songs and Star Wars repeats.
We talked about music in an episode the listeners won't have heard yet, about how with music, for some reason, people don't like a manufactured band.
Right.
But I think this kind of proved that that does apply to films as well.
This is a manufactured Star Wars.
Yeah, because even, say what you will about George Lucas's films, there was one guy's artistic vision, and he was trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
And I got that from The Last Jedi as well. It was a counterpoint to the ones that come before. But this one and Force Awakens, good as they are because they're made by talented filmmakers.
Many talented filmmakers.
Exactly.
The
Yeah, I will
director's the
not.
same,
I
yes.
will not give Abrams the credit for that.
we
It's
saw-
good effects guys, good actors, good writers. Abrams is just kind of there.
Yeah. We sat through the credits, right?
Yeah.
And can I throw out my little point?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So
Kind of relevant what we're saying anyway.
Yeah, we give the assistant minibus drivers credits. I looked at the music. Of course, John Williams did the score, and it was like this symphony did the music. I play an orchestra, so I'm like, why aren't we listing like the violin players and the oboe players and the clarinets? We actually hear them through the entire movie, but we're still putting
How
an
many
on-screen
people
credit.
is it? Like 50, 150?
Probably like 75 or something.
Right,
for
so
this
it's
one.
no more than that big block of
Carpenter
visual effects
credits.
artists we saw, right? There's no reason. I assume that fucking film orchestras have a bad union.
Yeah, that's probably. Well, I think it's like outsourced, like you hire the orchestra.
Yeah.
Whereas the studio is directly hiring
Right.
the assistant minibus driver.
No, but they don't. They hire a catering. Oh, but also, like, I guess the
They
catering
listed
is a company.
It was just they listed the cooks though.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they just made a real
Anyway.
good pasta.
Let Matt and Luke's Sci-Fi Sanctuary tell all of you filmmakers, man, list the musicians. You
Yeah.
hear them through half the movie, and then Star Wars, all of the movie.
Yep. But yeah, the point I was trying to make, I think this is an argument against, this applies to films and all art as a business.
Yeah. This is total business. I asked you somewhat facetiously, you thought I was talking Matt, did The Last Jedi, order Disney Plus? And this one did.
Oh, God, yeah. He was preceded by a Disney Plus advert as well.
It's called Disney Deluxe in Japan, by the way.
Yep. A good example, which I would think of, is, I know you're not a big video gamer, but you're aware of Halo.
Oh, of course. I've done my Halo.
Right, but so they made Halos 1, 2, 3,
Those kicked ass.
and then 2 spin-offs, ODST and Reach, which also kicked ass. Then they stopped. The guys who made Halo, Bungie, left Microsoft. They went on to make a game called Destiny, which I haven't played much of, but as I understand is a very good space shootery thing. Microsoft then just hired a new team to make Halo 4, Halo 5, more Halos. But if you're a fan of Halo, do you follow the money and the license, or the artists who made the thing you loved?
How do you feel about Red Wings?
I haven't watched it.
No, neither have I.
Right, but I'll tell you what I do want to watch is Knives Out, the film which Rian Johnson recently brought out. Apparently is very good.
Well, okay, I want to see Rian Johnson's film.
Yeah.
George Lucas, he sold Star Wars into Red Wings, right? And
Yeah.
nobody watched it, including you and myself.
Yeah.
Is it good? Maybe.
Yeah, but he also made the prequels before that, and I gave them a chance.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Rian Johnson you want to follow because he's made
The last thing I saw him
Good
make
stuff
was very
recently.
good. Right.
Yeah. And Last Jedi, again, that's the best Star Wars movie. It's the best Star Wars movie.
It is the best Star Wars
It's better
movie.
in Empire.
I mean, I already thought that, but are you saying that officially now?
Watching Rise of Skywalker makes me say that now. I'm like, it did so much to set up this film, which it didn't drop the ball. It is a good Star Wars movie.
No, it just didn't move the ball.
It didn't move the ball.
It just accepted it and was like, hey, thanks for this ball. Ta-da, ball.
Look, I'm juggling the ball now with maybe a few more balls. Because, okay.
Got all his balls out and showed them to us, and I wasn't interested.
Last Jedi had very new textures to how people interacted, whereas this one very much got back to original trilogy interactions, which The Force Awakens did too.
But it did keep Kylo and Rey's whole thing from the previous film.
Yes, I don't.
And used it interestingly as well.
Exactly. I don't think I heard Abrams just hit the reset button. I don't think he quite did that.
He didn't.
He just didn't take it to quite as interesting places as someone might have.
Yeah, and the end of Last Jedi between Kylo and Rey could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And he took it the less interesting way.
Right. Now,
but it wasn't like The Last Jedi wasn't specifically saying it will end this way. But that was just an idea that we thought of. But it also opened it to, maybe one of them will go dark or one of them will go light. And that's what they went with, which, fine, whatever.
Okay, we're going to talk more. This is not the end of the podcast, but I'll give you my final thought now. Maybe I could make the real sequel to The Last Jedi. You could. We could write those scripts. And I don't know about you, but mine is shittier than Rise of Skywalker.
As a film, definitely, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I can write but...
I mean, what we saw, like, I couldn't do better than that, so I can't criticize it too hard.
No, that's a shit argument about criticism. That's what pissed off artists say. Oh, well, I'd like to see you make a better film or better album.
I couldn't make a better film than Rise of Skywalker.
No, but
you saw him.
A better film could exist.
And it could. I wouldn't be the one to make it.
We're not filmmakers. We're podcast guys who talk about films, and we can say this film wasn't as good as I was hoping.
So JJ wasn't the wrong man for the job, but he wasn't the right man for the job. Basically, he was the right man for Force Awakens.
Yeah, right. Oh, so that's the point. Because you were saying Force Awakens did the same thing. It was Force Awakens had to bring us back from the prequel trilogy.
And then The Last Jedi threw us
the Last Jedi was
wild new directions.
The Last Jedi was good, so they didn't need to show us. Oh no, it's.
So you go anywhere.
We'll have to get into it.
You just build a rocket.
There's a reason this film
launch.
exists, right? And we haven't even mentioned it yet. It's because of all those cunts after the Last Jedi, right?
They did respond.
How much was Rose in this film?
Exactly, that definitely hit my mind.
Right,
Rose
she was
is barely
fucking
in it.
abused off Instagram by fucking racists and misogynists, and this film validates them.
Finn doesn't like her anymore, and Charlie from Lost gets just as much screen time.
Yeah, he was just there because he's Abrams' mate. The fucking robot voiced by Abrams got as much screen time.
Well, I turned to you and said, not Penny's boat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've changed my tune, actually. No, fuck this film.
No, I enjoyed it. But yeah, sure.
No, but,
why not?
I enjoyed it, but also there's more important things in the world than whether this film was enjoyable, and it really fucking dropped the ball on those.
Last Jedi pushed your mind to think somewhere. This one showed you some, pretty groovy Star Wars, but nothing to really chewy on.
Hey, should we get into just talking about, scenes and quality and shit?
Off we go. Po Rippy, Po Rippy, Po Rippy, Po Rippy, Po Rippy. That's our sponsor. Not really.
See, for the listener, they're just going to think you're talking about whether or not Poe rips it.
No, Po Rippy is a Japanese peanut snack in jerky or chocolate flavor.
Yeah, it's real good. But it's also why you're hearing crunching throughout this episode, so apologies.
Yeah, I told him you should get the jerky. You got the chocolate, too. I have these real stinky cheese snacks. Someone ripped out some cheese bread at work last week, and oh my god, it just stink bombed the entire bottom floor. It's like cheese bread, and it smelled like the worst of cheese and the worst of bread altogether.
Japan never makes strong cheese. How did they manage that?
By making bad cheese with cheap bread.
How long had this person had this cheese bread before they opened it?
I don't know, because I was talking to a student, I thought it was his breath at first. Whoa, this dude's into some weird, but it turned out it was actually just stink bombing the whole floor, and it was not the kid. Characters. Can we talk about characters? Rose didn't get her due. Holy shit.
Yeah. We both came down on we really liked Rose in The Last Jedi, right?
I mean, she shows up as much as Billie Piper here. I like her. She's fine, but that's Carrie Fisher's daughter, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is she called Billie Piper?
Am I?
Billie Piper was Rose in Doctor Who.
You're right. There's another name.
I don't fucking see Billie Piper. What the fuck is man talking about?
It's a similar sort of name. It's got a Lee in it. Anyway, Carrie Fisher's. Hit me up with the actress's name if you can, because I got the wrong one apparently. You are right.
Oh damn it!
Oh god damn it!
Making me Google.
Phone. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Rose was very cool in The Last Jedi. Apparently, the hate ripped her mostly out of this film, just not quite enough where people could just be like, "Oh, you just got rid of her." She's here. That's all she is in this movie.
Billy Catherine Lord is the name.
Lord, you can see where I get the
Yeah.
Billy. I got the Billy part.
Yeah, but Billie Piper is a person, and that's why I was confused.
You are yes.
See, if I didn't know about what happened after The Last Jedi, I might not have questioned Rose's fairly small role in this film.
Finn's not into her anymore. They
Yeah, but
didn't
he never
say
was.
it.
She was into him.
No, you made that point last time, but in this one, it's you're like, hey, don't you have Rose back there? Ah, fuck Rose is more or less what he says.
No,
He
because
doesn't say
he
that.
invites her, and she says no.
Yeah, and then he's like, okay, done with that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the lady on the. Oh, yeah, they did the horses well in this one, didn't
Yeah,
they?
because they use real horses.
Yeah, with weird shit on. Like I said, Last Jedi, I like that.
Yeah.
On a Star Destroyer, that was great.
That was also very Halo. Just fighting on top of the spaceship.
Yeah, it's
it was
pretty
very
Halo.
video game, right?
I played a lot of Halo. Like you said, oh, you're not really gaming. I played a lot of Halo.
Yeah, well, that's
Halo
back
2
when you were
and
playing
Halo
games, right?
3.
So
Yeah. Oh, I never got online with Halo though.
I never much really either.
I get my buddy come
That's
over.
like the story.
Yeah, my buddy come over. We sit down and we, just like scream at each other. That was
Yeah.
like I don't want to text someone horrible thing. I just want to scream at them when they're next to me. You and I do that with Mario Kart a bit. I know. Same vibe. I don't want to play online with people. I want to scream at the person who's in the same room.
Yes, what it's all about. Maybe if I had like a Kylo and Rey connection with someone, I could sit and play games online with them.
There we go. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I don't even know. Oh, that was weird though, being able to pull
They did that
objects back and forth.
once in The Last Jedi.
So that validated doing it here, I guess.
Yeah, he did it with a raindrop.
Yeah. And it does.
So now they
become-
made it a thing, and it was done really well and really cool.
Yeah, it's a plot point. Okay, I'm glad I don't remember them saying I'm The Last Jedi, so if they did it there, then I'm definitely cool with it here. Because it is a plot point here.
Yeah.
But Snoke was creating the connection. Does that mean even though he's dead, it's still there? I guess so.
But then there was the whole thing about, actually, they're a dyad in the Force. They're soulmates or whatever, just like Anakin and Palpatine were. So now I'm seeing the whole prequel trilogy. It's like a weird pedo grooming thing.
Let's turn direction. Poe's better here.
Yeah, well, because
He is Han Solo in this movie, isn't he?
yeah, because he went on a character arc through the previous film so that he could be this character in this film.
Yeah, so that worked. There's a payoff from Last Jedi. It pays off here.
Yeah.
He's good. Oscar Isaac's had more to do, and he does it well. Yay. Finn? He becomes a little more of a backdrop. I mean, he has things to do, but he's there because he's supposed to be there.
They introduced something which I thought would be cool and then didn't do anything with it, where he found out that other stormtroopers have defected. So I was thinking, is that how they're going to win? Are they going to make most of the First Order defect?
Oh, that
But
was
then they
good.
didn't. It was just a civilian rebellion again.
Okay, you should have written this, not me. I would have written a crappier movie.
But you said last time, maybe what will happen is that it will be that Kylo doesn't have the support, and that's which kind of they lean into a little bit.
Sort of, kind of. I mean, they just show up with a ridiculously large fleet of not First Order ships.
But, okay, so there is a big part of me that just enjoys cheesy moments like that, and it was done well.
It was done very
I mean,
well.
I've got a record of saying how much I hate Attack of the Clones. But Attack of the Clones has, the goodies are losing. No, look, here's more goodies moment. And it always gets me, every time. And this one did it as well.
Yeah, it worked here.
You had a big speech about how they're going to go. I was feeling emotional at that. And then they're losing, but then they're winning, and I felt emotional about that.
And then you get to see Wedge.
I got to see Wedge! I love Wedge!
Now you whispered to me, and of course you were right, but it was a real quick shot, right?
Yeah.
I
He looks
thought
old.
No, I thought it was Anthony Daniels in a different role for a second.
Oh!
No, when I saw the credits, I checked it. It did have, Wedge Antilles, Dennis Lawson. He's there, right? That was Wedge, but Until I saw the credit, I was like, is Luke right or am I right? And you
Anthony
were
Daniels did do that in Attack of the Clones.
right. Okay.
He's just like in a bar. You don't really see much of him.
Like I say, I saw it once. I don't remember, but just on that split second, I thought it was him, and then you were, oh, that's Wedge. I was, maybe it is Wedge. Okay, and you're right.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Anthony Daniels though. We had great C-3PO content in this one.
Oh yeah, the mind wipes fan. That it's like him getting taken apart in Empire, right?
Yeah.
Just a discombobulated C-3PO.
Every single film, C-3PO just shit happens to him.
Yeah.
He's just like a bit of an annoying prick, and then he just goes through horrible experiences. I love him.
I never quite felt this way before this film, but do you know who C-3PO is?
Go on.
Butters from South Park.
Yes.
Just the worst shit happens to him for no reason.
Like he's like, no, but it's like Butters. It's like he's kind of annoying, so you don't really feel bad for him, but you should.
Because the things that are happening are not like
They're not
reciprocal
proportional to the amount of annoyance he causes. He's like, okay, he whines a bit and he goes on, but then he's like blown apart, memory wiped.
That's why you got to get around your programming, people. You're going to become Butters or C-3PO if you don't work around your programming a bit. That's the message of this movie.
So droids generally, we talked before about how it's kind of weird the way droids are treated.
The droids are bitches in this movie.
But also, it makes a point, like, you can tell whether someone's good or bad by how they treat droids.
Yeah. So Rey, is that an early warning that she's going to be a Palpatine since she tree smashes BB-8 on accident? But
yeah, but then she also like hugs him and she says like, "Oh, this droid was mistreated." Whereas you never see the bad guys being.
No,
and, like
no.
Poe obviously loves BB-8.
Oh, maybe plot hole, or maybe Rey's just this powerful in the Force. How did Rey get across the galaxy without an astromech droid?
Oh, the astromech droid's only there to fix it, right?
I thought they did navigation.
But she had the Sith navigating thing.
Oh, she had that thing. Okay.
Oh, but yeah, none of the TIE fighters have astromechs.
Do they?
But then
They're
they
not
are
sticking
described as
out.
short-range fighters.
Yeah.
But maybe Kylo's runs a bit different.
I thought
Did Kylo's one have a droid in it and she just incinerated it? Oh no, but that already had the navigator in it.
that was an evil droid.
There you go, no. So those Sith navigator things make up for not having a droid.
Okay.
There you go,
we
explained.
go. Yeah. Okay, that's how she got there. Anyway, I just noticed that's the first time we've seen an X-Wing make like long journeys without an astromech in it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Man,
I don't think they ever say they navigate, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I assume they did.
Well, they're just there to be the computer, right? They plug in and they're the computer.
You know what? I don't think anyone really knows exactly what astromech droid does.
Nope.
But it sounds cool.
And they're
Astromech
cute.
droid. You say that. Yeah, R2-D2's just kind of there, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's funny. C-3PO got a pretty big role in this one and was kind of in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. But R2-D2 has just totally been replaced by BB-8.
Well, they didn't like Kenny Baker, and now he's dead.
That's... Wow. I mean, you're not wrong, but...
No, it sounds horrible when you say it that
really
way.
callous.
I like Kenny Baker.
Apparently he was a bit of an asshole.
No, I heard that too.
Yeah, like with his son
makes
and
me.
stuff.
Oh, that doesn't make me like him more. Okay.
Yeah.
If he's just being a dick on set, that kind
No,
of.
he had an illegitimate son, and when the son tried to get in contact with him, he just sent him a copy of his biography.
Ooh, okay. Okay, maybe that's why R2-D2 is not here so much.
Maybe BB-8 is his estranged son. He doesn't
Yeah.
give a shit about.
I'm really tripped. Here's another thing that this is what they're already planning. The Carrie Fisher scenes fit in pretty well. None of it seems shoehorned.
I've seen tweets complaining about that, and they all seemed fine to me.
Yeah, they de-aged both Mark Hamill and
that
her.
looked terrible, but-
That was kind of, but whatever. It's kind of
I've seen that
dark.
done well once, and that was in Terminator.
Yeah, it was dark and whatever. It's like a quick, if they just left the helmets on the whole time, you'd be like, what the fuck, right? So they got to flip them up just for a second.
Actually, I think just leaving the helmets on would have been fine.
Yeah, probably, but I don't know. It didn't bug me that much, and since
It
they're
didn't
doing...
bother me loads, but it just...
Yeah.
Her mouth looked weird. She had Henry Cavill mouth.
Well, yeah, it looked like a cutscene from a game 10 years ago. If this were a cutscene from a 2008 Star Wars game, it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, you say it was the bomb.
Yeah. That's the best cutscene ever. It looked just like Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. But yeah, it's just... Yeah, I think they did well with her in this film, basically, with that one shot being possibly arguable.
But did we even need that much of them?
And we needed a little more Mark Hamill. Oh,
No,
and
but did we even need loads of Leia in this film?
we didn't get loads of Leia in this film. Yeah,
guess.
we got just enough, I think.
Yeah, but I also think we could have had none and it would have been okay. The torch was kind of passed.
It was already passed by a few shots. I mean,
But it didn't hurt the film. And it was nice to see them.
Poe and Finn were already basically in charge, right? She was just giving them advice. She was like a consultant with still had the title. Harrison Ford. I liked how he showed up for his unbilled cameo.
He was billed.
Was he billed? Where?
Mm-hmm.
He was billed?
He's in the credits.
Was he?
Wait, no. He wasn't. But his hairstylist was.
There we go. Because I looked through the Carpenters. I was hoping they'd stick him in with the Carpenters.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't in the actors, but I did see stylist for Mr. Ford, hairstylist for Mr. Ford.
Well, that's even funnier because my thought when he shows up as he's not a Force ghost.
No,
I
he's
guess
just in Kylo's head.
Yeah, he's just in Kylo's head. It seemed like Harrison was like, yeah, I'll show up, but I'm not getting a haircut and I'm not shaving.
Well, people were joking when the recent Blade Runner came out and they put out all the posters with the characters. Harrison Ford just looked like he turned up in his own t-shirt and jeans and was like, I ain't changing.
Well, that's how he showed up in this movie, too. I love that.
No, that was a nice scene. That was a nice touch.
And it is nice that while they're never in the same shot, we do get everybody together in this film, including Palpatine.
Yeah.
But
He's now the one guy who was in all three. Oh, no, Anthony Daniels.
Yeah.
He was in all three trilogies.
When Rey hears the ghost of Jedi past, we do throw in everyone. Is that cool?
I like that.
Cool.
I like that a lot. That's fine.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay. I don't like that he did that at all. Because, again, the point of The Last Jedi was throw away the past, be your own person, anyone could be great. This one seemed to be, I know it's all about the people who came before you and that's all that matters.
Well, okay, could it be about the essence, the hopes and dreams of the people that came before you being distilled generation after generation, and it's all on you? It doesn't have to be like actual Obi-Wan is telling you what to do,
but
right?
That kind of, but also maybe that explains, because I think a lot of people were complaining about how powerful and good Rey was without the training, but she has got all the Jedi flowing through her because she's the last hope.
Yeah, and they do explain that now that she's like, you know, the most powerful force bearer in the universe. Well, of course, she can at least like impress you. Yeah, pretty quickly. I mean, they make it.
They also explained the Holdo thing.
Oh yeah. You said it's a 1 in a million. They said that exactly. It was a 1 in a million plan. I was like, oh. So Luke, you called that
that's why the guy from Lost was even there, was just to ask dumb audience questions and get shot down.
But I definitely know, because it didn't bug me watching Last Jedi that's how. Like, I never thought about why didn't they do this before, but
then you would think that in a new one, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they just take out the Star Destroyers by doing that? It's like, it's a 1 in a million.
Yeah.
And we're in a weird space storm, so it wouldn't work. Like,
anyway,
fine.
It just tripped me out that you said that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Last week, if you're listening to this on the podcast, which I suppose is probably what you're doing.
Maybe someone's listening to us right now. Are they in this temple?
I don't know. You could open a door
Hello?
and check. No answer.
Konnichiwa. Sumimasen?
You can get your fortune there. They got a fortune machine.
All right, I got one from a creepy little robot doll yesterday, so it's fine.
Okay.
I'll show you the video later.
You said you want to talk about the battle. Is it time to...
Wait, we don't have a character yet.
Characters...
It's okay, Rey was dope.
Yeah.
Poe was dope.
Yeah.
Finn was there. Rose was barely there.
Kylo Ren?
Oh, well, let's briefly wrap up the old guard, because we started talking about them.
Okay.
Like Luke and Leia, small roles, made sense. Han's role, I wasn't expecting it, loved it. Lando was in it about as much as Lando has ever been in it, and it was fine. I like Lando.
Fine. Lando's Lando, he's there.
Yeah,
he's Billy
there
D
to be
again,
Lando.
that's cool. I mean, Dog Glover's great too, of course, but...
I did like the Leia mission was just to go and get people to support us. And it worked, because, everyone loves Lando and Chewie.
And he definitely pulled through.
And then Chewie. Fucking felt for Chewie in this film. Everyone he loved is dead.
But he gets his medal.
And then he gets his medal.
That's the most choke up moment of this movie. Chewie finally gets his medal.
But that's also such a the fans wrote this film moment, which is I can understand why that's good, but it also mostly is bad.
Yeah, Leia should have given him the medal 30 years earlier.
But also it's just I like all of the way this film was made was what will fans like, we'll shove it in there, which is fun in moments, but it means I'm not going to have any lasting feelings or thoughts about this film.
Okay, so they did that, and they did it in a Return of the Jedi sturdy framework.
Right.
If they had tried a different framework and did that, it definitely would have fallen on its face.
Because The Last Jedi was so good, part of me is there's a universe out there where we just got another very brave Star Wars sequel made by an actual artist.
No, that's why Last Jedi Retrograde now becomes the best Star Wars film.
Right.
Because Return of the Jedi, I guess Return of the Jedi did sell on more of the promise of Empire. It didn't nail it as hard as maybe it could have, or as people wanted.
All they had to do was make it Wookiees and not Ewoks, and no one would be complaining.
Yeah. We get an Ewok shot here. No Jar Jar, but we get an Ewok shot.
Yep. You know, Jar-Jar Abrams was directing.
I know, exactly. This is a Jar Jar Abrams. More characters?
Okay, so yeah, you were going to bring up Kylo. Oh, wait, one more Chewie thing. We see him without his, like, strap. He looks weird naked.
He does. and the strap looks even weirder on C-3PO.
Yeah. Although I'd seen a photo of C-3PO with the strap and the crossbow. I thought, we're going to get, like, action 3PO? And then they did the bit where they gave the mind wipe and his eyes went red. I was like, is the solution just they've switched off all of his rules and now he's just like a killing machine?
I did one because Rogue One had that, right?
Yeah.
They had the psychotic robot.
If we just had the final battle, we had just red-eyed Terminator 3PO just gunning people down.
That would have been fun.
I am C-3PO, human cyborg terminations.
Anyway, we were gonna go Ren, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, Kylo Ren's story wasn't as interesting as it was in The Last Jedi, or as it could have been, but it was done well.
Yeah.
And we got more time with him actually turning to the good than we did with Vader, right?
Oh yeah, Vader makes a snap decision, whereas
And
Kylo
then
Ren gets the point slowly. He actually has several minutes on film looking like a proper Skywalker.
Yeah, and also throughout this film, he wasn't full villain mode.
Right.
Because if all he cared about was power, it'd be like, okay, yeah, Palps, I'll kill this girl and get
The
your
general
stuff.
who wasn't Hux was the one full villain mode.
Yeah.
Do you remember his name?
Price.
There we go.
Richard E. Grant
Price is
playing
right,
General Price.
bitch.
Although I felt like I feel like they wrote that role for a returning actor from the original trilogy and we didn't get one. Because
Well,
the whole moment where he's like, I will serve you like I did in the last wars.
Would be what's his name?
Which one?
Peter Cushing.
Oh, no, he would have been too
No,
old.
it's not the same character. I'm just saying it's the same vibe, right?
Right.
Yeah,
No,
he's
but, like,
your
it
Peter
would've
Cushing
been-
here.
I guess they could have brought back just some random general from the original trilogy, but none of them were great actors like Richard E. Grant. So
Yeah, exactly. He was.
I don't have a problem with it. It
very
just felt
good.
a little odd. I feel like I like the way they introduced him, like, oh, he's the spy. And then, no, Hux is the spy. And then Hux tries the whole, oh, shoot me so they won't know thing. And he just sees right through it. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Hux has always been a chump, and he just gets chumpatized hard.
he
in
goes
this
out
one.
like a red-headed stepchild.
Yep.
Time moves backwards, I get older and younger, and I see. I don't always like the things I observe there to be.
I had to start like a new segment, right, for time. But yeah, Kylo Ren, we want to talk about a little more, and they did a pretty bad job fixing his mask.
Yeah, but that looked pretty cool.
It looked cool. They
But
just
he
did
still
that
just
job.
ditched it pretty early. Like, why did they bring the mask back? Oh, sorry,
Because
toys.
it's cool.
To sell
Toys, and it's cool.
And so that at
And you got
Star
the
Wars,
voice?
So that at Star Wars rides, they don't have to get the actor every time.
Yeah. Oh, but the Rise of the Resistance, the ride. I said it. I think I said. I don't know if you watched it, but it's a new ride at Disney World or whatever, and it doesn't fit because Rey's like already like in the Resistance, and Kylo Ren. Okay, maybe he's got his mask again, but he has it for 10 minutes in this movie. It's got all the red cracks, which are not in the ride. It's not that important. Okay, character-wise, let's take me a level deeper past the Disney World ride, which looked pretty cool, by the way.
So I got a mouthful of nuts.
Whose nuts you got?
Abrams.
I thought you were going to say Poe Rippey again. Okay. But you said Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams.
Adam Driver carried this trilogy.
Yeah.
And no wonder he's so ripped in that shirtless scene in The Last Jedi, because he's not doing anything that interesting. But, well, he's doing
Very interesting
He's
things.
doing Anakin's plot in reverse. And he's doing it in a way Hayden Christensen couldn't dream of.
I don't know if he didn't have isn't he supposed to be like decent in other movies? He didn't have a green screen, maybe?
but I bet Adam Driver did.
Yeah.
Didn't stop him.
Oh, Adam Driver's definitely good here. He's probably better. I mean,
I've seen Christensen in other stuff, and he's not a great actor.
okay, I don't know him that well. Yeah, Adam Driver's
I
very
watched
good.
Jumper. He wasn't brilliant.
I didn't finish Jumper, so I guess
Yeah.
that proves your point.
But yeah, Adam Driver is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And like I would have believed any direction they took him in because he inhabited that character really strongly.
To the end.
Yeah.
I mean, even here's the again, Vader's change is kind of a snap decision in return, whereas you make the decision with Kylo to become Ben Solo again.
Yeah, he's conflicted, but it all makes sense. And even once he's changed from like villain to hero, he's still the same guy, and he still has that like weary sense of humor.
Yeah, he doesn't like call the First Order, sorry, fuck you, I'm a hero now. He kind of actually tries to work with it.
Yeah, he tries. Well, he does what he needs to do, right?
Yeah.
Because throughout this film, you were saying like, oh, maybe in Jedi Luke had already turned. Maybe in this Kylo had pretty much already turned because he was using the gem. He was using the First Order
Gem
to try
Hadar.
and find Rey for his own reasons.
Yes.
But he was saying, "Oh, I'm going to turn you to the dark side."
Yeah, he's
Is
definitely
that for
doing
her benefit or his?
his benefit.
Is he just trying to convince
He
himself
needs a
that's what he's
friend.
doing?
He needs a friend on
Yeah,
the
but
dark
no,
side.
does he really want her on the dark side?
That's the thing with the
Or is he
Sith.
just making an excuse to get? He just wants Rey.
Well, he just wants Rey, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
that, because. Okay, so they kiss at the end, but he immediately dies, so that doesn't mean much.
Well,
but
he was
like,
just, he was like, let me, I felt like
I
he was
didn't feel like it was mostly a romantic thing. It was just they were the only two people in the universe who understand each other.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing. It's not a romance. There's the two people in the universe that understand each other.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool because they're both from these, high midi-chlorian bloodlines. God, we gotta go back to the bloodlines. So that's where, if they did, if they could have Palpatine. Just making the granddaughter thing does put a bug in the rug.
It's a bad thing for this film.
Yeah.
But it's like 2 lines. Just ignore them. Bring out an edition where they just cut those lines.
That's when you open your can.
So what's a thing? If they gave this trilogy a Lucas-style special edition, like they don't have to change much. Just like throw in, like they start this one with, a message from Palpatine has been heard. Imagine if we'd actually heard that at the end of Jedi, like The Last Jedi,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
and he'd have been like, okay, this makes sense. Whereas it happens in the opening cruel, and like because this film needed a supervillain and they didn't have one.
Because they could be flying off in the Millennium Falcon at the end of Last Jedi, and we're getting a message. People, the next movie will make you think of the past. Is that what you should have said?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But then, yeah, other than that, it kind of works. But again, I don't think they needed Palpatine. It could have just been, like, that Richard E. Grant guy. Fine, the villain is just the First Order, right? And Kylo rejects them.
Now
but then,
it's the final order.
But, like, okay, Kylo rejects them, but they're like, okay, well, fine, but we're still going to do what we want to do. Like, and then he has to fight the Knights of Ren. With, like, the final battle wasn't really a battle with Palpatine, was it? It was a battle with his guards.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking 90-year-old man. So, like,
Palpatine's going to blast them with his normal energy crap.
yep, and then they reflect it, and that's cool.
Yeah.
They could have done all of this, pretty much the whole film, without shoehorning Palpatine in,
Yes.
and it would have been better.
You could still have, like, John Woo lightsaber, because John Woo's only got the 2 guns, so John Woo lightsaber. Yeah, that's him.
They could have done pretty much everything in this film without Palpatine, and it would have been better.
We got a very
But I
quick-
knew that going in, which is why I was expecting, before we saw it, to come out of this giving it a real, like, fuck this movie, I hate this movie. It sort of exemplifies everything that's wrong with the world, where they're listening to the idiots instead of listening to experts, blah, blah, blah. But I'd resigned myself to the 2 things which I hated about it already. So I just, like, enjoyed the rest.
Well, the core message is we as a people are stronger in any
Which is
elite
what
force.
you said at the end of our last Jedi podcast.
Yeah, and
Power is with the people.
I'm very surprised that Disney even wanted to throw that message in because I think that's a pretty accurate message.
But Disney, despite being like the biggest, most evil corporation on earth, somehow convinced everyone that they're your woke friend.
Anyway, that was actually a very notable message in this film, and that's the one like you said, the end of Last Jedi. I think that's the message this film needed to make. And did they make it a little ham-fisted? I guess, but they made it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very satisfying when the fleet of everyone else shows up to screw up some Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
It maybe hackneyed, and it's almost like Poe's like, where is the fleet? The fleet's coming, which is actually what he's doing, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it worked. It just didn't blow me away.
Yeah.
But also, okay, so plot-wise, message-wise, themes-wise, it wasn't as interesting as it could have been. But also, even just as like a spectacle action film romp, name a good action scene from this film.
You're going to give me a moment?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking of the lightsaber battle with the waves, which warranted some of the weird flips because they got waves crashing on them.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
But that was just like those two working out their emotions.
Well, that also made it a good fight scene
Yeah.
because they have a very strong emotional, crawl to what they're doing.
But then we have the final act of this great battle for the galaxy. And
There were lots of images.
Like
It is one of those things where
at
it's
what
just
point
like
I couldn't follow any of it.
I remember the first film that really had me just like, what the hell is going on? Was at the Nagano Grand Cinema watching the third Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Where they got like the 4 boats in the giant whirlpool. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And that final battle did have a little bit of that
I knew
crossover.
what was happening, but I didn't feel like I was on the ride with any of these characters.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about previous Star Wars films. The 5 good ones. I'm not going to mention the prequels because they're way worse than this for this. But I do hope Luke's trench run, you are in that cockpit with Luke that whole time.
Hey, what about the beginning where the Millennium Falcon's running through the asteroid thing or whatever? That made me think of the
cool,
trench run.
but then also they were doing that weird light speed skipping thing, which was a cool idea.
That was cool.
But it meant that it felt like, here's some CG is happening in front of me.
I meant before that when they were actually going through the corridors of this asteroid.
Okay.
That made me. I had trench run go through my mind. That's
But it
my
hadn't
point.
built to anything yet. It was the opening act, right?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a cathartic thing. Yeah, I guess there's no actual catharsis here,
And then
action-wise.
Empire, Battle of Hoth,
Yeah.
phenomenal. Luke and
Lightsaber
Vader, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Like, the Jabba escape is fun, campy kid stuff, whatever. The final battle is let down a bit because that's the beginning of we're spreading a battle over 3 or 4 different battles.
That was another thing I liked about the snake worm creature, though. It seemed like they were going to go Rancor again, although they're like, well, she's got her lightsaber, right?
Yeah,
Which Luke didn't have. I thought they were about to go Rancor again. Then they went Devil in the Dark.
I like that.
That might be my favorite part of this movie.
Again,
actually.
but it's not a scene that I'm like, oh, I gotta see that again.
And no, you don't got to watch again. But also that set up her like in a relatively well-told way that she has this healing.
Yeah, that's
power.
something Jedi can do. Which
Like
makes
if she
sense,
did
what
it
else?
later, that would have
If she
been
just did it to Kylo, yeah,
that would have been completely
super big.
ridiculous.
But okay, so then Force Awakens, Rey and Kylo's fight in that was great.
Yeah.
And the first time the X-Wings show up, when they skim over the water and take out those and save everyone,
Yeah.
that was dope. And then Last Jedi,
Everything but the weird CG creatures.
but
When they
just
had
in
an
terms of
action
action
scene.
scenes,
Yeah.
the
Well-
2 lightsaber fights in that are among my favorite.
When the skimmers and the assault, right?
Again, but that one wasn't so much an action scene as like the building to an action scene they decide not to have, which was nice.
Yeah.
But this one, like, I don't feel like... Okay, maybe the waves fight. But other than that... But again, because of that one, it didn't build it as a fight in my head in the same way.
Yeah. What about the one that didn't really happen when Rey's in Kylo's quarters and they're having a
Oh, that
battle?
was good.
But technically that's not an actual lightsaber battle, but it worked.
You've talked me around that there were 2 good lightsaber fights again, so...
Like it didn't actually happen, but on film it happened and it looks cool.
Yeah, maybe I am going to see it again.
Smashing apart the Vader pedestal.
But actually, no, I think this one and... So yeah, it's just that the final battle...
A little lacking.
Didn't get me.
A little too much crap happening.
Yeah.
Although when Palpatine opens the ceiling and you see, your rebel forces are dying.
Then he did a fucking laser beam to the sky. He Kamehameha the whole fleet, which is ridiculous.
That was a little ridiculous, but hey, he's got power, he's a Sith.
Yeah, but they've never had that kind of power before.
Well,
that
he
was
said
some
30
Marvel
years to work
shit.
on it. He said 30 years to
It's
work
like
on
Chris
it.
is a decrepit clone zombie thing.
While going around on his big, life-giving, whatever that was.
I started this argument wrong. I should have just said in the final battles of films. All the previous 5 Star Wars films had something in the final battle that the film built to. And this one, I don't think it quite did.
This one did turn into just like a lot of crap's happening on screen.
Which was a very prequel ending.
Yes.
Like, 1 and 2 especially. Like Phantom Menace, there's like 4 or 5 battles going on at once. There's the space battle, there's the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fighting.
Well, I think
Darth
we
Maul,
decided
there's the Gungan battle, there's also the like trying to break into the throne room battle.
Yeah. What we took out in the end was just the dancing with sabers.
Yep.
That was him.
Whereas, this one, again, there was the space battle, then there was also the ground battle on one of the spaceships, and Rey was fighting some guards, and Ben was fighting some guards, and Palpatine was just doing Palp shit.
Hey, the red stormtrooper suits. They were just straight up stormtrooper suits, and they were red. I like that.
Yep. But, yeah, I couldn't really enjoy any one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know what my point was here.
I don't know. I guess like you already told me, as I played enough Halo, I kind of liked them on the start of the story.
Yeah, again, I didn't
But
dislike
it's probably because I played too much Halo.
I didn't dislike any part of that battle. I just didn't get into it. And as the final battle of a 9-film saga, I needed something to get into, right?
Yeah.
So let's tick one off the Luke and Matt Sci-Fi Sanctuary bingo. Avengers Endgame came out this year. And that ended a 22-movie, 10-year epic. Probably similar like expectations going into it as this film, right?
I don't know.
Gave you a final battle.
It's like Return of the Jedi already gave us like the final battle of Star Wars, and here we are with a whole new thing.
And it ends in the same. I said earlier, ends in exactly the same place.
Maybe the prequel like lowered our expectations, so now no one's really like. I feel like we're not gunning so hard for such an epic ending. I was just like, I want to see another Star Wars film. I want to see cool Star Wars stuff happen. I didn't watch this like I was watching an ending at all, because I know there's plenty of more Star Wars films.
Of course.
Avengers, I know there's plenty of more Marvel films come on, but
it was the end of like those Avengers.
Yeah, it made me feel like this is the end of the.
But it did it so well.
Yeah.
We had like the small scale fight where it's just the 3 main guys against Thanos. Then they did they did exactly the same loads of heroes turn up thing. But then that battle also delivered because you followed little character through lines in it.
Maybe that's where I like Rey so much, though, because we mentioned before, Endgame had "This is the women," where Rey doesn't need that at all. Rey's just Rey. Rey does what Rey does. It doesn't matter if she's a man or a woman. Rey's Rey.
This whole trilogy has done that pretty well.
They've
had a lot of female heroes, a lot of heroes of color, and just not people. I think people do accuse these films of being like, oh, it's the SJWs in your face, but it's really not. And that's why, those people actually are just misogynists and racists.
Exactly.
Right?
That's where, like,
if someone complains about the Endgame scene, I'm with them. That did feel shoehorned in. But this trilogy just does it well.
It never shoehorns it. In fact, they might have shoehorned Rosa a little more.
Yeah.
I would have liked that.
Yeah,
why didn't she go with him? I expected her to be like...
She was shoehorned out.
Yeah, I expected her to be like, I'm coming with you, and then she didn't.
So, yeah, fuck those guys. So, it's a shame that Rose got done dirty. But
because she deserved a nice end to her story, and now she has no story. Mm-hmm. She's just there.
I also like they never gave us an answer on who Finn is romantically attracted to.
Poe?
Yeah.
This movie kind of reinforced that, because
Poe definitely is into Finn.
Yeah. Because
I think they're both bi.
He's into that. Like, he seems to be having a nice relationship with that new ex-stormtrooper, but he doesn't. Again, it's like they're getting along well. He doesn't seem to have a romantic connection.
No, his connection is the same as Kylo and Rey.
Yeah,
he found someone who understands it.
Right,
but I didn't feel any attraction there. And then Poe obviously has that old flame, but nothing happens there. But Poe and Finn. Yeah.
Oh, did you catch who that was?
No.
I only caught it because we sat through the credits like a Japanese audience. Carrie Russell. Felicity.
Maybe. Oh, from Archer?
I don't know if she's an Archer, but she's... Yeah, Carrie Russell. I know she's in Felicity maybe around 2000. Anyway, she was a big deal 15 years ago.
I was thinking of Felicity from Arrow.
No,
what's that show even called? Is it called Arrow?
Yeah, it's not
called Archer.
It's not called Archer. Okay. Now, Archer's the James Bond thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like when she flips up her mask, I'm like, I do recognize the eyes. And then when I saw the credits, oh, okay, I get it now. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't know her.
Okay,
That's pretty cool, though.
Might have been an American thing, I don't know. But,
yeah. Was the show called Felicity?
I believe so. It's been a while.
What's it about?
I don't remember.
Okay.
My
I don't know her.
university girlfriend was watching it, and I saw
Okay,
the
I
actress.
got no idea what you're
It was
on about.
it was quite popular in the day. But,
Okay, I never heard of it.
I did not research that one on the way into this.
Maybe that one didn't make it to the UC.
It could be the case. We've been rapping on characters, and anything
We
else.
kind of wrapped on the action scene. Was there any other action
did
scenes
the
you wanted to
action.
bring up?
Were there any other action scenes? Oh,
There was
I
like a
will say
car
I always
chase.
bitch about CG, and except for Maz always pisses me off.
I think she was a puppet in this one.
Was she?
There was a
Crap.
close-up on her, and her eyes weren't doing the weird CG movement they did in the last one.
Maybe I was just pasting on from past viewings. Anyway, I like Maz the character fine.
But yeah, I remember in Force Awakens, where they did do a lot of good practical effects, she felt like a weird CG.
Yeah,
throwback
she
to the
didn't bug me
prequels.
so much here. I just assumed she was CG.
No, there was a close-up on her face. I was like, oh, maybe she's a puppet in this.
And the final battle did have someone's like rendering way too many things in his computer, like you said. Otherwise, I didn't get too CG bugged by this movie.
Yeah, the final battle, like, none of the CG looked bad, but the CG let them just be like, oh, we don't need to choreograph this, just throw a whole lot of shit in.
Yeah, there's too much stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, let's have a battle of 3,000 ships.
But again, that was a cool moment.
Yeah,
But we needed another small-scale moment to actually care about.
I guess that was supposed to be battling on the hull of the Star Destroyer, but
Yeah,
as
but
you
then
said, didn't quite
there's
work.
too much stuff going on. But yeah, no, the effects were great throughout this film. The acting was good. Yeah, that's the thing. Even though I have some issues with how this film turned out, it's not like prequel bad, is it? It's still a good film.
No, it is the return, because this is the normal ranking of the trilogy, which is Empire, Star Wars, Return. So the ranking of the new one is Last Jedi, Force Awakens. This one doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not as good as the other ones.
I'm not
I
sure
don't
that's
know.
how I feel about the original trilogy either, though.
No, that's why I prefaced it by saying
Yeah,
that's
the
how most people
normal
feel.
order.
You and I go Empire, Return, Star Wars, and maybe Return first on
Sometimes
another
Empire
day.
and Return.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a day thing. It's like, I'm the same with the Star Treks. I can't have a solid favorite.
But we are definitely out of prequel territory on this one.
Yeah.
And it's definitely above, I think, Star Wars story. I like Rogue One, but
When I did my recent Star Wars rewatch, I didn't even think about including those.
right. You still haven't seen Solo.
Oh, yeah, I still haven't seen Solo.
Rogue One's fine. Rogue One, I loved in the theater. I think I watched it once on disc, and I forgot about it after that.
Oh, isn't it weird? You know Jin from Rogue One? She's all over makeup adverts here in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Is she like a famous person? Because I've only seen her in Rogue One and those. I mean, she's a pretty lady. I don't see why they wouldn't put her in makeup adverts, but it's just
Yeah.
it's like I saw her in Rogue One, and then 5 years later, I'm like, oh, it's her. Huh.
Yeah.
She does stuff.
They pushed that as hard as a regular Star Wars film in Japan, which they did not do with Solo. So maybe that's why
Yeah, maybe.
they got tricked by that.
Well, I mean,
first.
that one, because we've discussed before, seems like most Star Wars fans just like seeing effects and Star Wars stuff. And
Yeah.
you definitely got that from Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I assume you're looking at the new
I'm
bit.
looking at the key. I'm hitting the key. Boom, bam. La 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 la.
Okay, how do we rank the trilogies?
The original trilogy, this one, the prequels.
Yeah,
Is that wrong?
I think if you're looking at them as trilogies as a whole, I think you have to. But if I'm rating the 9 films, I do think I'd put Last Jedi up above maybe all the originals, at least some of them.
No, I told you. As of the new one, I'm putting Last Jedi at the top of the heap,
Yep.
even with the CGI beasts in the middle.
But yeah, I guess Star Wars now has a positive batting average of films. So that's good.
That's nice. I mean, we talked about you said you had your whole view of all 8 movies into this, and you said after the new one I might stop watching episodes 1 and 2. Are you going to stop watching episodes 1 and 2?
One day I'm going to have to do all 9, right? Like in a day.
I'm never going to watch 1
I
and
know
2
you're not.
again. I'm going to watch
You'll
2
watch
again.
2 again
I'll
eventually,
watch 2
because we'll probably do an episode on it
That's
at
my
some
point.
point.
We do have to talk, but I probably will get back to the Phantom Menace. So for me, it's 3 to the new one. I'm going to watch the new one probably as much as any of the others.
Yeah. Yeah, right. The only reason is because once I start, I will want to watch it through to its conclusion.
Here's the thing, I did just put Last Jedi at the top of the heap, but this does have a little more Star Wars fan service tickle, which it might be fan service, it does make you happy. Like I said, Last Jedi definitely threw out the tropes of how the characters react to each other, whereas this one got right back to it. I mean, that's one of the things, like, you feel mildly comfortable because now Poe, Finn, and Ren maybe Ren too. They are bantering with each other, like, in a convincing way, like the original trilogies, which the prequel never, ever had.
Once or twice they tried to give us that with Anakin and Obi-Wan, but they couldn't really pull it off.
Well, they tried it here and they pulled it off.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
At the start, there's some friction between Poe and Rey.
But that's the banter. At the start of Empire, there's plenty of friction between Han and Leia.
That's true.
Like, I felt like they definitely nailed the banter. Again, it's a little bit of a carbon copy of it, but they did it well.
Man, as a fan, I don't want to be serviced anymore.
This movie does service you.
Right, but so this year, I've been given Bumblebee, which was just like, here's the Transformers, how you remember them from the 80s.
Yeah.
I've been given...
But they gave you so little of it, it wasn't quite fan service, I feel like.
But I've been given Endgame, which was like, great, but it was like, here's the shit you know and love from comic books. I was given Detective Pikachu, which I loved, but it's like, here's this world that you like brought to life. And I've been given this film, which is just, here's a bunch of Star Wars like it was when you were a kid. I'm like...
It is. I mean, this movie is Star Wars like it was when you were a kid, when it didn't quite have as much cultural bounty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now a Star Wars film, like, subtly nudges the boat of the zeitgeist of culture, But like Last Jedi did that.
When I think about, like, what film am I excited about seeing?
I'm getting less and less
It's not
excited.
this stuff. It's not more of what I know. Like, if there's any film I'm excited about next year, it's the one I mentioned to you earlier today. Christopher Nolan's new film.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Tenet.
That's part
Because
of Sonic.
That's going to be something new. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I follow a creator, not a franchise.
Maybe we'll throw you a Nolan month, though.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Prestige, Inception, Interstellar, and that. Good films.
So right at the beginning of this podcast, and I will go on record that I do not need to subtitle this movie, God damn it, JJ. I mean, I don't like everything he did here by any means, but in the end, it's a fine Star Wars film, I think.
Yeah.
Not the best, but it's fine.
It's a fine Star Wars film, but it's not a memorable or interesting or important film.
It is not a payoff of the best Star Wars film,
No.
which is now The Last Jedi.
But also, no, so we mentioned it's a worse ending than The Last Jedi's ending.
Yeah, Last Jedi gives you... That's such like
It gives you a
the glimmer of hope they're going to make it. You don't actually need to see more after that.
Yeah, that's fine. Like,
So-
they kept hope alive was the point of that film,
So should
and it gave you the message that the power is in the people's hands. Whereas this one showed you that, but maybe it was more powerful when it like you left the cinema thinking, no, I need to fight.
right?
Whereas
So
this one, you leave the film thinking, oh, everything's fine.
they got it covered. We're cool.
Yeah. Whereas like, no, people, please rise up and fight.
So is the correct way to watch Star Wars now Clone Wars episode 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Stop.
Yep.
Okay. I'm still gonna watch this movie a lot though.
Yeah, well, I'm the guy who watches 1 and 2, so.
Maybe I'll watch this one first and then go to Clone Wars and make it like a infinite loop. That could work, right? You start with this one, and then you go to Clone Wars, and things just get better and better until you get and a little dip with the Force Awakens. Things get better and better. You watch this, then you go to Clone Wars, then you do episode 3, which actually is worse than this, but
Yeah, it is.
hey, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Force Awakens has a little dip, but otherwise,
Force Awakens doesn't really dip, it just doesn't move the needle.
okay. So it's as good as Return?
It's as good, yeah.
Okay. I'm asking you, right?
It is in the sense, but like, in isolation it is. But it doesn't exist in isolation. It exists where it had already been done.
Okay. Here's
That's okay. This film is good in isolation.
Right.
Because it was a fun romp, it serviced me as a fan, blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't exist in isolation. It exists in the real world, where The Last Jedi said something and this film doesn't quite say that.
It says the same thing Return said. But here's the
They
thing.
said, oh, the goodies win, yay!
I think this film puts its finger down enough that I'm kind of excited to see what another trilogy will do. I'm cool with. I think the franchise is on a nice course. It could have been on a better course with a better movie, but it's on a good course. Like the future may bring some groovy stuff.
But The Last Jedi made me think, oh, I can't wait for more Star Wars. This one made me feel like, I don't need any more Star Wars.
Let's see what they do in 10 years.
Well, no, I like this.
No, we got stuff coming, next year? 2 years?
I think they have said they're going to give a break, but I don't think they're going to be long. But,
Anyway.
just stop. Give me something else.
You can stop here.
They should stop it. They won't. And
No.
maybe something will come out and I'll love it. But,
We still haven't watched The Mandalorian, by the way.
yep. I still haven't watched Solo.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Maybe we'll do an episode on that at some point. But is that the future? Is Star Wars like going to go Trek-wise and be a TV thing? Because people seem to love The Mandalorian.
Maybe.
Oh, they had a little baby Baby Yoda love here, though.
Oh, really?
They,
With the robot fixing guy?
No.
the
The Burning Man planet.
Oh.
I felt like the baby.
Oh, the little baby aliens, yeah.
looked a little bit like. I mean, they weren't Baby Yodas, but they.
No.
I wondered if that was like a little cross connection because I imagine when they were making the Mandalorian, they knew the Baby Yodas were going to catch some fire,
Probably.
so they just put a little element of that here. Oh, one shot of Pogs.
Yeah, and Ewoks.
Yeah. One shot. Ewoks.
But,
I don't know. I just mentioned the Pogs before the Ewoks, and that was interesting. Since you asked me last episode, did the Pogs work? I mentioned the Pogs before the Ewoks, so I guess they did.
yep. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting to come out of this film angry. I've actually come out indifferent. So I guess that's okay?
I'm indifferent, but I'm excited to watch again when it hits Blu-ray. Are you going to watch this again in the theater?
Maybe. I got a week off coming up. And
Okay.
I don't have huge plans, so I'll have time.
I'm going to wait till I can watch it on Blu-ray myself. I'm not going to go to the theater again.
If I'm real bored, maybe I will sit down, watch all 8, and then go to the theater. Like one sit.
Oh, I hope that's not your holiday, man. Anyway, we will be taking a bit of holiday. Who's Holloway?
I don't know, the actress. Is that
Charlie?
No, that's like Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to justify my speech impediment spurt. Anyway, we're going to throw you Galaxy Quest for the 20th anniversary tomorrow.
Yeah, that's weird.
Double episode this week, which means we're going to take New Year's off. And then I'll scream it out at the end of this episode. No, I guess I'm going to scream Galaxy Quest at the end of this one. So there, that's your hint.
Ow.
You take it. Okay, where do they find us?
We're on Twitter at MLSFS13. Please come and give us all your hate mail. Tell us why we're wrong, why we're SJW cucks, all of that stuff. I'm on Twitter at Buskalily. Please give me a hate follow. I need your clicks. And Matt makes music, which you can find at rovingsagemedia.bandcamp.com. And I think as this one goes up, he's actually putting out an album.
2. One's
Are they out
dirty,
yet?
one's obscene. 28th, December 28th, which is after you'll be hearing this if you get it straight up. Although if it's in the distant future, this is 2019, man.
So yeah, check that out. If you've been listening to this podcast, you've heard some of Matt's music already, so you know if you like it or not.
And if you're listening in like the year 3000, we salute you.
Hey, someone's alive. That's good.
Okay, anyway, thanks for listening today. Thank you for graciously coming into our sanctuary.
But now we would appreciate it if you would get the fuck out of our sci-fi sanctuary.
Goodbye. Into the graveyard with you, because we're sitting next to a graveyard. So at the end of the movie, Rey shows up at the old Skywalker ranch in California. I mean, Tatooine.
I noticed something about that. It's always been filmed in Tunisia, right? I don't think this was. Because in the
Jordan?
credits they listed Jordan, yeah.
Jordan.
So they must have rebuilt it.
I wondered if they went. Well, anyway, you know, if
I
you
think
know, we
Tunisia
know.
is a little bit dangerous these days.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Anyway, you know, she goes there and the old lady's like, "What's your name?" She's like, "Ray." "Oh, what's your last name?" And she, like in the movie, they make it very dramatic. She sees the Force ghosts, but I was just thinking in reality, she stares at the old woman for a few seconds, then turns for like 20 seconds, and then turns back and says, "Skywalker."
Be even better if she just said, "Palpatine, bitch."
Cut.
And just like she can spend the rest of her life just making old ladies shit themselves by telling them that she's Ray Palpatine. She's like, "There's a queue at the bank. Excuse me. I've got an account here. My name is Ray Palpatine."
Get the fuck out of my way! I'll fucking electricity fry your skull.
Excuse me, madam. The restaurant is closing soon. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
Not for Palpatine.
Let me just sign my check, Ray Palpatine. Like, oh, you can stay as long as you want.
So what you're saying is Rey made some mistakes at the end of the movie.
I mean, she did the right thing. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I would be owning that for the rest of time.
Yeah.
Then again, I probably would just sat on the fucking throne.